Hello everyone. Today we will discuss part 3 of your fourth chapter, Evolution of Transport and Communication, from your class 5 SST book. In our previous two parts, we have already discussed about transport and trade. Today in this part, we will discuss about communication. Let us first discuss about the evolution of communication. Communication means to be in touch with others through speaking, writing, reading, or traveling. We can communicate easily and quickly even with people who may be far away because of technology. Just as travel and transport were very different in earlier times, so were the methods of communication. Let us now discuss about the early methods of communication. The earliest people communicated only by speaking. As cities and civilizations developed, people felt the need to write down things like details of their trade, poems, stories, messages, etc. Today, people all over the world use writing as an important way of communicating with others. For hundreds of years, letters were carried by people. Sometimes letter took many months to reach. About 3000 years ago, people realized that homing pigeons had the ability to fly back to their homes. They could also be trained to fly between two places. People began to use pigeons to deliver messages quickly. Brief messages were tied to the leg of a pigeon who flew off to deliver it. This was so successful that pigeons were used even during battles, right up to the 20th century, to send urgent messages. This was the case before the introduction of technology. Now let us see the technological development in communication. With the development in technology, the communication system also developed. Communication became easier and faster. People now did not have to wait for months to receive a letter. Instant communication was possible with technological advancement. One of the very first technology was printing press. All writing was done by hand until the 15th century CE, when the first printing press was invented in Germany. Letters of the alphabet, made of wood or metal, were arranged on a machine to form words and sentences. These were inked and sheets of paper were then printed. The other technologies were telegraph, telephone, and typewriter. In the 19th century, the telegraph, a method of sending messages quickly using electricity, was developed both in England and United States. Later, also in the 19th century, the first telephone conversation took place in the United States. The first typewriter was invented at about the same time, also in the United States. They were one of the major inventions in the field of communication. Later, more advanced technologies like radio and television was invented. Messages were first sent by radio in the early 20th century. Later, the first television message was transmitted. Radio and television are still one of the important means of communication. However, television of today's world are far more advanced. Now, let us discuss the benefits of technological development in communication. The printing press made it possible to print many copies of books and newspapers. The knowledge and information was thus available to many people. The telegraph made it possible to send important messages much quicker than a letter. With the telephone, people could easily talk to those who were far away. Typewriter made it much faster to type letters and documents than writing them with hands. Radio and television made it possible to deliver the news, information, and entertainment to thousands of people at the same time. Therefore, we can see that modern technology has made positive impact in the field of communication.